Yeah, they Kronos was supposedly well, Kronos was a project name. Spaceships and basically also it did have artificial intelligence and a computer, pretty much that Jimmy Carter or JFK or they wanted the computer really badly. Like they at some point, well, everyone laughed at computers. Like I say, everyone said, "Yeah, right. What's the point of a computer? It's just a big calculator. Who cares? I got an abacus." And like I say, a long time ago, the abacus. I sold abacuses, and abacuses were really were bought by everyone. I mean, mostly, like I say, they use abacuses actually for counting, and actually they use them in school because there are so many of them. But what they're actually used for is quantities. You'd go like, you know, uh, you could actually ask the Chinese. They actually use abacuses a lot, but basically you'd go one. It's for quantities. Businesses would use them. You just go one, two, three, four, five. How many grapes do we have in stock? Oh yeah, we have one. Yeah, we have like five. And each abacus thing would actually indicate like 10 or whatever. And it would be on the top. Each one equals 10 or something like that. But they actually use abacuses not for counting, but actually for stocks and stuff like that. Like you have 10 barrels of oil in stock or whatever. Because the warehouses were so big that we actually had to use quantities or stuff and like I said, quantities would change in the warehouses day to day, so you couldn't just have like a sign or anything that says, oh yeah, we have 52. You just okay, we sold three. And that's what abacuses were for. You'd have groups of 10 and then groups of 100, so you go one. Yeah, you could ask the Chinese about the proper use of the abacus, but basically you go and then one, and then or like and the one side was for donations of 1 to 5, or whatever. Anyway, each one of these equaled one, and then you equal 5 or 10, and then so however many you have across, and then that's one, and then two. And that's the proper use of an abacus. So anyway, it's not actually they say it's for counting, but it's actually for stock. So for stock quantities, like you have 10 motors in stock, so you'd have like, you know, so it's for counting and for stocks that fluctuate a lot. Like on day to day, stuff like that, silly stuff. Anyway, they use them for a lot of different things, and then later on we had so many when we upgraded to computers, like because every warehouse had an abacus, and you're moving over to computers. There were thousands of millions of abacuses that had been built that you no longer needed. So we gave them to schools, we threw them away, we did whatever, and there was even some gold abacuses and some other nice ones, for the high end stuff, like one girl, two girl, no, that kind of stuff. Anyway, though, whatever though, but anyway, that kind of stuff. I mean, anyway, so Kronos was actually a computer. We were starting the first computer and spreadsheet programs and all that other stuff. And mostly we used it for space stuff. Calculating trajectories and stuff like that. Calculations when there's more than one calculation or lots of calculations that has to be done. Anyway, whatever. In the old days, we used to use a lot of mathematicians and all that other stuff, and then we were switching over to computers and stuff like that. So, anyway, whatever. And the first card reading systems and all that other stuff, and basically, I had people. So anyway, though, Kronos was actually a what's called a space station that was put up in 1850. I guess the public didn't know that there was a space station up in space this whole time, from 1850 on or something like that, or 1700. We had a space station in space. It was Russian. Well, they say it's Russian, but it's actually German / whatever. Anyway, so yeah, there's a space station. It was launched from, I believe the space station was maybe launched from the United States, from Kansas or Kentucky or someplace like that. But I also, because that spot was good. Anyway, there was something about the water or something like that, or I don't know. I don't really know. It might have been a nuclear rocket or something like that, I think. there might have been some reason why we wanted to keep it wet or whatever. Or I just felt like, or maybe I just was building in Kentucky, and I just felt like having some what's called a rocket launch site there. Anyway, I did lots of crazy little things. It's like, I mean, I built somewhere else, and it's like, well, let's build over here. So anyway, I think there might have been a war going on in Germany or Russia or something, and it was safer here or something. I don't know. I mean, I was relatively isolated most of the time with my projects because, there'd be something over there. It's like, well, that's too dangerous over there, so we do it over here. So anyway, I mean, I could pick my site from around the world. So anyway, so I had the launch site in America, in Kentucky or whatever, Kansas or some place in that lake up there in the mountains. But I also had my sites in Russia too. I mean, I was all over the world basically. So it's like picking a site or whatever, and it depended on where I was, plus, it's wherever the minerals were. It's like why truck why truck an explosive or dangerous chemical when whatever. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I had my site there, and I had my sites in Russia and Germany and stuff, and my people knew where all my sites were, all my different locations were. So we just worked around, and stuff like that. Anyway, Nixon and JFK would spend their whole life trying to figure out everything that I already knew, everything that I'd already done. I mean, they have to go and dig through thousands of paperwork. So it's like I just like, oh yeah, let's do it here. I mean, I knew where all the sites were. I'm LS. I'm Lucifer Star, the Lucifer Star. Like I built the world, so like I mean, I knew where most of the places were. Anyway, on all the deep underground bases, I mean, everyone would say Hitler this, Hitler that. It's like no, no one. Hitler's nothing compared to me. I mean, I was history. I was epic. So. Anyway, other people would try and be what I was, but they really wouldn't. No, I'm not conceited, not at all. Yeah. Anyway, though, but and that's one of the things that bothered JFK like crazy, and even all these other alpha males is that all the women just wanted to know where's LS, where's Lucifer Star, and it's like, well, I'm here, and. Anyway, like I said, like 1918, like 1700, like robot mechanized armor. I spent like 150,000 or whatever, and did all that. I mean JFK and Nixon and even Rodney and everybody else would be spending centuries trying to figure out my system of government, my system of military. It's like I already knew. I designed it. I built it. It was my system. It's how I got. It's how I did things. So. I mean, I was the legend. The legendary LS. Lucifer. I'm the one they chased through space for 500 billion years, trying to figure out where I was or where I was going or what I was going to do. Like they didn't know. I mean, it's thousands of planets, and I'm in one spaceship that's traveling sublight speed. Try and find me. Anyway, they chased me forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever, because I had created the laws. I had created the system. And until they took me down, I was standing like a monument in time and space. Like, ha ha ha. So I was the one they wanted to kill. I was the one they wanted to find. I was the one they wanted to pin down to a planet. But they couldn't because I was still in space back then. And like I was gone from Earth for over 1 billion years. Just wandering somewhere out there in space and time. JFK and Nixon would spend their whole life trying to find me. All they knew is I was probably going to be at the White House at some point. Maybe not. It is my house. Even Trumpy would come to find out. LS Lucifer White Star's house. Yeah. And other people would they would graffiti my stuff and stuff like that. They were trying to find me. So, but where was I? When was I? Who was I? What did I look like? Nobody knew. All they knew is that I owned Germany and America, and I named America. So, yeah. Anyway, hi. How's it going? What's up?